On the same day in which football legends LaDainian Tomlinson and Kurt Warner were enshrined into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the former teams took the field at the StubHub Center for the first of two joint practices. In what proved to be a very big teaser to the start of NFL game days, the Rams kicked off Day 7 of training camp with a competitive and exciting afternoon on the field. Today's practice featured a variety of different drills ranging from full team work to individual drills and just about everything in between. All 180 players from both sides were in high spirits, showcasing their athleticism and energy throughout the two-hall practice. Here's what you missed from Rams Camp Day 7 Joint Practice Edition. Top takeaways. 1. A friendly neighborhood matchup. Even though the Rams and Chargers did not participate in live tackling, the intensity remained high throughout the entire afternoon. The practice began with a series of individual drills taking place at both end zones, with each team working on various positional warm-ups and stretches. Then it was game time, sort of. The field was split in half as each side got the chance to work on red zone drills and midfield work, switching off at each end. The Rams offense opened up the run game routes, letting running back Todd Gurley loose on a selection of different plays. During one portion of the 11-on-11 drills, Gurley managed to misdirect the Chargers defense, running straight up the middle before cutting back to his left and taking it into the end zone. McVay was happy to let Gurley stretch his legs against another team's defense, describing the back as a violent runner, impressed with his ability to power through the gaps and break would-be tackles. He did a great job getting it out into the open field, and there was a couple where he's reading it one gap at a time on some of the schemes we have, and you can feel his speed once he gets to the corner, McVay said of Gurley's work during Day 7. He's a guy that has been motivated and has been a standout throughout the off-season program, and it's been the same throughout camp, and we're expecting big things from Todd. At HaredGoff16 right arrow at Ty Higgs19 pic.twitter.com up 4GBF8BFC Los Angeles Rams at Ramsnell August 6, 2017. Both teams finished off with an assortment of situational drills taking up the full length of the field. It was during this portion of practice that the sidelines really came alive, giving the stadium a true game-like feel, specifically during the 2-minute drills. The Rams' hard work on the field allowed the team some valuable experience going up against another system and will be very helpful in evaluating what the Rams will need to work on throughout the next phase of training camp. I think there was some good stuff that we saw, and until you really get the chance to go back and look at the tape, especially because we were doing some two-spot stuff and I was a little bit more involved in the offense, McVay said of the joint practice. There was some good, some bad, some things we need to clean up, but I thought it was great work that we got today. It will be a great opportunity for us to get back and look at the tape, McVay reiterated. The Chargers have some great players on the corner, so I thought it was great work where it's a little bit of a different structure than what we're typically accustomed to seeing from our defense. Every single day, this work is invaluable for us. 2. Goff showing improvement in game-time situations. Saturday's practice also gave us an inside look at quarterback Jared Goff's improvement from year 1 to year 2 in a game environment. Though the Rams did emphasize the run game, there was plenty of passing to be seen from the second-year quarterback. During the 11-on-11 drills, Goff recorded a nice completion to tight end Gerald Everett, rolling out of the pocket to his left before drilling the ball upfield for a would-be first down. In his first red zone drill of the day, the quarterback found wide receiver Cooper Kupp in the end zone. Although Chargers linebacker Joey Bosa shook up the quarterback on the next play, stripping the ball from his hands after the blitz, Goff recovered well, throwing to wideout Pharoh Cooper in the end zone on the following play. But Goff's biggest bright spot of the day came in the tail end of practice during the team's 2-minute drill. Goff went 811 for about 75 yards, taking the Rams' offense all the way to the 3-yard line before being held to a field goal. After practice, Goff said the joint practice proved very effective, allowing him to get some good looks at another team's defense, especially with preseason just a week away. I felt good. There were a lot of things I thought we did good and a lot of things that I thought we can work on, Goff said. Off the top of my head, I can point to a couple. But I thought for the most part, we moved the ball pretty well, especially in the 2-minute drill there. I was really happy with what we were doing up front. Seeing something different today was good. It was refreshing. McVay was also pleased with his quarterback, noting Goff's football savvy during today's scrimmage along with his confidence throughout the situational drills. I thought he settled in. I thought he did a nice job in the 12-minute drill, taking completions, being smart with the football, and then at the end where we did a little bit of move the ball, he made some good third down throws, McVay said of Goff. I think he's doing a nice job finding his rhythm, getting more comfortable every single day. 3. Secondary proves its worth. After yesterday's practice, defensive coordinator Wade Phillips mentioned that the secondary would be the most surprising part of the Rams' defense. And so far throughout the last 7 days of training camp, the defensive back group alongside the linebackers have truly proved their worth. Robbie Coleman at slog on 23 with some good reps out there against Chargers third down plays. Danny Klarpenger at Dan Nicklip August 6, 2017 in the joint practice today. The secondary, led by cornerbacks coach Aubrey Pleasant and safeties coach Ejiro Evero, played well, getting the chance to go up against the deep threat of a veteran quarterback in Philip Rivers. In training camp, Phillips' emphasis thus far has been on pass deflection and cutting down the vertical threat, and today that was put on display. Cornerback nickel Robbie Coleman continues to impress during camp. Today, Robbie Coleman had a great pass deflection, stopping a long ball to the 10-yard line. Linebacker Kevin Davis had the Rams' first interception of the day, placing his toes carefully inbounds for the pick. Overall, the secondary continues to be a bright spot of improvement for the Rams. Though McVay focused mainly on the offense in today's scrimmage, he made sure to give high praise to the intensity of the secondary as a whole. I can't wait to go back and see how the defense did, McVay said. Because we did so many two-spot drills, I was a little bit more involved in the offense, so I can't wait to go back and look at the tape. But anytime I'm kind of peeking over my shoulder just from what we've seen throughout the off-season program, it kind of carried on today where guys were flying around doing a good job of playing smart. I thought they did a nice job from what I saw, just kind of on the brink. FIELDLEVEL observations. Wide receivers Tavon Austin and Josh Reynolds along with linebacker Samson Ebukam missed today's practice, out with minor issues. They all remained day-to-day. Defensive tackle Michael Brockes and outside linebacker Robert Quinn were limited in today's practice, while safety Lamarcus Joyner did not participate at all. McVay said they were held out as part of the team's management program, meant to keep all of their athletes healthy and performing at the best. Cornerback E.J. Gaines had a nice only-handed grab during the warm-up portion, displaying solid hands even on the sidelines. The defense struggled a bit with the mobility of Rivers, who was able to cut up the middle on a few early routes. Later in practice, the D-line was able to hold down the run a bit more, adjusting well to the Chargers' offense. Chargers Melvin Ingram vs. Rams LT Andrew Whitworth. Ramscamppic.twitter.com Guzmib5W JB Long at JB_Long August 6, 2017 Left tackle Andrew Whitworth held his own on the line, blocking well for the majority of the day against the Chargers' Melvin Ingram. Linebacker Mark Barron had a nice play during the midfield drills, forcing the incomplete pass from Rivers in man coverage. Tight end Tyler Higbee had a nice grab in the end zone for the touchdown during red zone drills. Has connected well with Goff for the last few days. Wideouts Robert Woods, Paul McRoberts, Cooper and Kupp saw a lot of action today, taking the majority of the first-team reps at the receiver position. Play of the day. Today's play of the day was brought to you by veteran inside linebacker Alec Ogletree. During the last portion of this afternoon's practice, Ogletree showcased his quick speed on display, blitzing Rivers for the sack. Rivers did not even have the chance to step back and settle into the pocket before Ogletree was all over him. The defensive play was a great example of the added mobility and aggressiveness in Phillips' new hybrid 34 scheme. Press points. After practice, McVay spoke to the media about how he felt Day 7 went for the Rams, but also took the time to honor new Hall of Famer Kurt Warner. Catch up on his best point from Day 7. Sean McVay on if the practice went like he expected it would. I also wanted to just congratulate former Rams quarterback Kurt Warner on his Hall of Fame induction last night. What an important part of this organization he's been. I reached out and connected with him a little bit, but what a great player, what a great person, and a great representation of this organization.